This has become a major question in the world of modern military aviation. Why does Russia feel the need to develop a fifth-generation stealth fighter with a two-seat configuration like the Su-57, while the United States remains confident in using single-pilot aircraft such as the F-22 and F-35? Following the emergence of the latest two-seat Su-57 variant, it became clear that this project is far more than just an ordinary experiment. Sources from Russia state that the aircraft was developed to meet the specific requirements of India, which wanted a two-seat configuration for its future combat fleet. Interestingly, several other potential buyers are also reportedly beginning to show interest in this unique variant. This raises an important question. What do Russia and India know that makes them believe one pilot is no longer enough? Is it related to modern warfare strategy, combat drone control, or could there be hidden limitations in the single-seat fighter jet concept? So, keep your eyes on the story. The world of military aviation has just witnessed a quantum leap that redefines the boundaries of stealth technology. Russia's United Aircraft Corporation has finally dispelled all doubts by releasing official footage of the latest variant of its flagship fighter jet, the Su-57D. The introduction of this two-seat variant is not merely an addition to the catalog, but a bold statement about the future of aerial warfare. Amid skepticism from Western observers, who had previously dismissed early images of the aircraft as digital manipulation or fake, Moscow responded with the roar of jet engines tearing across the Siberian skies. The maiden flight of the Su-57D marks the beginning of a new era in which Russia is leading down a path that even the aerospace giants of the United States have not dared to pursue. Russia's decision to develop the Su-57D reflects a far more mature military philosophy than that of its competitors. While Lockheed Martin's F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II remain bound by the doctrine that one pilot is enough, Russia recognizes that the complexity of the modern battlefield demands more than software algorithms alone. A fifth-generation fighter is not just about evading radar detection, but about becoming an airborne command center. With the Su-57D, the pilot in the front seat focuses on lethal kinetic maneuvering, while the weapons systems officer or battle manager in the rear seat orchestrates the battlefield in real time. This vision goes far beyond that of a mere trainer aircraft. It is an airborne battle management platform, unlike anything currently fielded by any NATO air force. The ongoing testing program is designed to ensure that the Su-57D retains the low observability stealth characteristics that define the Felon family. Although modifications were made to the canopy to accommodate the second seat, Sukhoi engineers have repeatedly demonstrated their ability to combine radical aerodynamics with radar efficiency. At a time when the F-35 is being mass-produced without a two-seat variant option, Russia is offering flexibility. Rather than relying solely on ground-based simulators to train pilots, they are building a real machine capable of delivering genuine combat experience under direct supervision. This is Russia's pragmatic advantage, high technology firmly grounded in the realities of battlefield requirements. The comparison between the Su-57D and other fifth-generation fighter jets highlights a stark contrast in strategic vision. In developing the F-22 and F-35, the United States placed its full confidence in automated sensor fusion. They believed that advances in avionics could replace the role of a second human operator in the cockpit. However, the history of aerial combat has often shown that in high-stress situations and under intense electronic warfare interference, human instinct and workload sharing remain key factors in achieving victory. Although more than 1,300 F-35s have been produced, the aircraft still faces limitations in multi-platform coordination roles because the workload placed on a single pilot is simply too great. Russia recognized this gap and addressed it with the Su-57D. Interestingly, Only China, with the J-20S, has attempted to follow a similar philosophy. However, there is a fundamental difference between Moscow's and Beijing's approaches. While the J-20S was designed specifically for controlling drone swarms and suppressing enemy air defenses, the Su-57D was conceived as a Swiss Army knife in the sky. Beyond its battle management capabilities, the Su-57D also serves as an advanced combat trainer that is crucial for transitioning pilots to fifth-generation aircraft. Russia understands that operating an aircraft as complex as the Felon requires an intensive learning curve, something that no simulator, no matter how sophisticated, can fully replace. Criticism frequently raised by Western media regarding the raised rear cockpit design of the Su-57D, which they claim increases the aircraft's radar cross-section, appears rather short-sighted. Russian engineers have optimized radar-absorbing materials and the aircraft's geometry to minimize that impact. More importantly, the tactical advantages gained from having a second operator to manage electronic warfare, precision targeting, and drone command far outweigh the small increase in radar visibility. In real combat scenarios, the ability to process information more quickly and coordinate friendly assets is a far deadlier weapon than merely having a lower RCS figure on paper. Russia's primary target is clearly strategic export markets such as India and Algeria. For India, which has a long history of operating two-seat Su-30 MKI variants, the arrival of the Su-57D provides an answer to their dilemma surrounding the fifth-generation fighter aircraft program. Algeria also plays a key role in this narrative. As one of Russia's loyal defense customers, Algeria's interest in the Su-57D demonstrates that the global market strongly desires a rugged and multifunctional fifth-generation fighter jet. Western media may try to downplay the Su-57D by calling it just a trainer aircraft, but the generals in Algeria and India know better. What do you think? That's all for today's episode, and thanks for watching.